Hi angels, welcome back to another resin video. So in this video we're going to be making a heart-shaped resin preservation. I already used this mold I think once or twice, who knows, but yeah, let's get straight into the video. These flowers preservation is from Amazon. The photo I print out myself. The white flowers that I'm going to be using is from Amazon. All you're going to need is some ibuprofen alcohol, which I just sprayed inside of the mold. And these are the white flowers I was talking about. These are going to be the backdrop of everything. Just pushing it down into the resin to cover everything up. Trying to like space it out as best as I can. Dazzle, dazzle, dazzle. Is dazzle, dazzle even a word? So I'm making this for my grandmother because, you know, Mother's Day is on Sunday. Hopefully I'm posting this video on Sunday so you guys can see it. But this looks so cute. I put my photo inside that I print off. Pushing it down into the resin so the resin can cover it up completely. And then you see that I just sprayed directly the ibuprofen alcohol on top of the resin. You're going to see why that's a bad idea very soon. So now I'm putting down in there my flowers, making sure that they're not sticking out. And they did end up sticking out outside of the mold. I should have laid the blue, not the blue, but the pink and the purple directly into the resin flatter. Just lay them flat. But I did not, so you live and you learn. Just going to pour a little bit more of some resin on top so that the flowers can soak up the resin. And we're just going to let this sit and cure for a full 24 long and beautiful hours. And here's a quick little close-up of how it's looking. It looks good. Dun, 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 dun. This is 24 hours later. I totally messed up on the photo. This is the second resin pour that I'm doing. The ibuprofen alcohol messed up the ink on the photo, so now it is purple. I was debating if I should just change the photo, just put another photo on top, and then that would probably save it. But I think that it has a very unique look to it, so I just left it just the way how it is. I didn't try to fix the photo or anything. It looks fine just the way how it is. So after putting in down there the second layer of resin, you can see that there's bubbles rising and popping on its own. That's what we love to see. But I always spray each layer with 24 with ibuprofen alcohol. Every single layer of resin that you pour down in there, you have to spray it with ibuprofen alcohol to get rid of any bubbles that might rise or any bubbles that is already sitting there. Or you can just go over it with your lighter. I did both method. See, going near the photos because there's little tiny bubbles with some lighter. And that's it. We're going to let this layer sit and dry for 24 hours. And then spray it with some ibuprofen alcohol. And that's it. I'm just going to use a little stick because there's little bubbles around the corners and inside the flowers that I just need to pop. You just press down on it a little bit for it to pop and then you're good to go. Here's a more close up. This is going to be the third layer of resin that we're pouring down in there into the mold. See some bubbles around the purple flowers that is rising and popping on its own, and also the pink one as well. We're just going to keep on repeating the same steps over and over again until we fill this up all the way up to the top. Pour in there some resin, spread it with some 99% ibuprofen alcohol, and make sure to use a pin to pop any little bubbles around the corner, and you are fine. That is pretty much it. There are some bubbles trapped in some of these, so I was just using my pin to just poke at it so you can get underneath those little stems so that the bubble can rise. Because sometimes they're just trapped underneath there, and if you poke at it, then they'll just rise up on their own so that you can just pop it instead of them just sitting there and then just curing with the resin, and it just looks an absolute mess. And that's it. So there's a bubble right there that popped on its own last night that rose to the top. So we need to cover this with the fourth layer of resin. So what we're going to do is just pour down some resin and voila, that bubble just disappeared. that quick and that simple. There's a little pocket right there, so I'll just use my stick to get the little tiny air bubbles out of it, and that's it. I'm going to spray this with some ibuprofen alcohol and let this layer sit and cure for a full 24 hours. Here's some more bubbles that I'm trying to get out. Just hold down some pressure onto the flowers and the bubbles will rise on their own. And that's pretty much it. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Pouring down there a little bit more. And make sure to be pouring directly on top of the roses. There's a bubble right there. There's some bubbles trapped inside of the roses. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Turn it directly to the sides so you guys can have a better look. After doing this, we're just going to spray the mold and let this layer sit and cure for a full 24 long and beautiful hours. Overnight, 24 hours. And that's pretty much it. You can see in the blue flowers, there's some bubbles that are rising and popping on its own, which is always a very bad sign. That means that the resin is trying to seep all the way directly through it. So you need to just let it be. So I got another bee. I thought that it would be a good idea to just put it inside of there. The bee, I don't think it makes any difference. I just sprayed the mold right then and there with some ibuprofen alcohol. And then I'm just going to put the bee behind the blue flowers and the pink one. And just let everything cure together for a full 24 hours. And that's it. And there were some bubbles that was rising up from the bee because I kept on pushing it down into the resin. I just used my stick to just pop it. And obviously I did spray it with some 99% ibuprofen alcohol. So sometimes it just pops on its own. And that's it. So I got these metal stickers from Amazon and I decided that they will look amazing in there. So I'm just showing you guys the ones that I picked out. We're going with gold. Dun dun. So after this layer dry, I'm going to be peeling off the stickers, laying them however I want to lay them down. And then make sure that you rub it down properly so that it can transfer, and then just remove the plastic that's on top of it. And that's pretty much it. It's very easy to transfer. I mean, it is stickers, so how hard can that be? But sometimes some of it gets stuck. All you gotta do is just press down on it for it to be transferred onto the white one. You guys gonna see what I mean in a second. The only difficult part was sometimes trying to remove the sticker from the back. Dun, 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 dun. Peel it off, and this is the last one that we're going to attach. That we're going to place down on there. Just for you. So cute. I was going to put that one in there as well, but I was like, no, maybe that's going to overpower everything and then get on top of some of the letters. So I just left it be just like that. So after that, now this is going to be the last and final layer of resin that we're going to be pouring down to cover everything up, to make sure everything is looking perfect. And we're still going to be repeating the same step. Spraying the mold with some 99% ibuprofen alcohol. Using the pen to pop all of the bubbles. And then we're going to go over it with my lighter to get rid of any bubbles. And as always, Just let this layer sit and cure for a full 24 hours. While I was doing this was very, very late in the night. So I was checking up on it. I was making sure that the bubbles was looking good. I kept on coming back and forth. And then eventually I just got tired. And then I went directly to bed. I should have kept my eye on it, kept on spraying it, kept on going over it with my lighter. But I fell asleep, honestly. And then, you know, when you're sleeping and then you remember something, I remember that I needed to be checking up on this, but I was just so tired. I went back to bed. And that's it. But it wasn't such a large bubble. I can fix it later on, but yeah, I totally fell asleep on this one. If it was any other layer, it would have been fine. That's it. And now it is in the morning. I decided to do a voiceover because the original sound. You guys can see that there's 2 bubbles right there that just pop. It's just sitting at the top. So what I'm going to have to do is just sand it down. And there is some resin that ran over. So there's just extra resin that's sitting up top. You can either peel it off with your hands, but I didn't want to like mess it up. So I decided to just go over it with my scissors. I'm just showing you guys how everything looking. There, the blue and the pink flowers is definitely sticking outside of the mold, so it definitely is gonna need to be sanded down properly, and then we're good to go. I'm just using my scissors to fix up the edges a little bit. Cutting. And that's how it's looking. This looks so cool, and the purple photo inside of it has a very unique take to it. I like it. It looks adorable. This still needs to be fixed up in time, but this is how it's looking so far. I'm gonna have to order a sanding tool off Amazon because mine broke, but it doesn't look that bad. It looks very pretty from afar. She's a Monet. But it honestly looks so good. I like the way how it turned out. You can either put it on either side for it to sit up, and that's just how it's looking. I think it's better to just sit like that. But yeah, it looks so good. I love the way how this turned out. 10 out of 10. Happy Mother's Day. I hope that you guys like this video because it was pretty cool to make. Especially the metal sticker just gave it a very special touch. But that's it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.